the wrong audio done for recording footage. No, how's it going? And just working on ultra wide mode right now. Finishing up this screen. So here is a cameo from Inubas from their upcoming game because they did a Carpoon cameo. That game's not out yet, but I think there's a demo on Steam. And from Calvin's game, I added a tank. His game, I don't think he is even up yet for wishlist. I don't think he's announced it yet, but it's an Advance Wars like with more strategy. So yeah, doing this and well, it's cool spots, but they are in the ultra wide mode. So maybe I'll have to like figure out a way to get them visible elsewhere in game for everyone. Yeah, there's a thought. Yeah, building on the Scarlet cameo, which is actually something you can toggle. So like if you can toggle the spaceship one and go to space, maybe that'd be cool. But things to think about. Harpoon this Zeppelin blimp and maybe go into the air. Yeah, but right now for ultra wide, it's still like you get the top and bottom cropped. So by doing this, it's gonna fix it. And maybe for ultra wide, I'll have to make it a static camera. That's something I'll chip into. And maybe I'll fix the eyes on the trucks pointing at the screen just to use that in key art. One of my friends is saying it kind of looks like a bit off and not directly at the viewer. Yerk, have you beat Donkey Kong Bonanza yet? Last stream, everyone was telling me how they had just beaten Donkey Kong Bonanza. Any hockey sticks in the garbage? That's a good idea to add in. Maybe a car with hockey stick. I'll add some in here. Oh, congratulations. I still have not made good on my promise of buying a Switch 2 yet and enjoying it after Carpoon's launch. I hope to soon. How are you finding the Kirby Forgotten Land DLC? Because I remember you sold me on playing that game, I think, and I really enjoyed it. That's like one of my, I'd probably say like maybe my favorite second half Switch game. You're close to collecting all the bananas. Antonio, don't do that to yourself. That's still fun, but oh, I'm pretty sure I added a Zamboni in here. It's like, where's Waldo? Did I add a Zamboni? You know, I'm not seeing it. So we can always add a Zamboni over here. It was a gnarly 720p 30, yeah. Yeah, no, I remember you're inspired by the level design, and yeah, it must be pretty amazing now. Like I do have a 4K TV too, finally, so I can actually see it. Although I don't think it matters too much that the 4K TV is 42 inches, but I don't know. That, of course, was the one bug I had to like quickly turn around and fix in Carpoon, where I was testing on a 4K TV with Steam Deck and not from my PC to the TV. And fortunately that could be fixed pretty quick. It was screwing up the screen ratio for the objective screens. Can't see a Zamboni. Okay, well, here's what we're going to try to add in somewhere. I think I was talking to some other game developers at a meetup this week, and they're saying how like some of them don't play many games. Like some of them are just, one of them joked like, why play games when you make them? But I always remember at Paint Arcade Expo, it's funny to hear like a guy who worked on some AAA game. He's like, I might play some Dreamcast or PlayStation game at some point that he like really liked, but just didn't have time, probably because he had a family. But yeah, I do think it is important to actually play the games when you can. I would guess we don't know much for September because Nintendo's basically holding back Metroid Prime 4 and probably some surprise announcements, but it seems like they have, it's almost like every week. It's not like every month. It's almost like every week where they have something new to play. Some new crazy strategy of pumping out content in what people call like a book club format almost with Nintendo, which makes sense. Yeah, I beat Seaside Drive and UFO 50 yesterday. That's one I was getting back to a bit. Okay, so that'd be a bit too close to the tank. Probably this thing in here. This could be a Zamboni. Yeah, Antonio, I didn't do the audio test. That was my failing. I was like, I don't have to. I can just check the mic level. Nope. always do the audio test. Yeah, Silk Song's out next week. That was funny to think that it might come out at the same time as Carpoon, but then I had to remind myself it's at Gamescom, so it wouldn't be at Gamescom and like coming out before then. So to be honest, I still have to beat the first one. I think after beating Dark Souls, I could appreciate it more, but at the time I hadn't, and yeah, it was really hard. I think I played it for a few hours and then I kind of bounced off it. Yeah, you can only imagine how long Silk Song will be with 40 bosses. But no, they can tide everyone over until the next one. Yeah, that's like Breath of the Wild to play it for 70 hours and not finish it. That's funny because Silk Song was going to be like DLC for it. A little similar to Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. There was a Bloomberg article by Jason Schreier, and it sounded like basically they love making games, and like they haven't really gotten anything extravagant, and they're just working a very simple, dull office, and they just focus all their time into making the Hollow Knight universe. I think it would have been nice if they could have given more notice for their release date, so other developers, like other indie developers, could work around it. Was it Demon School was going to come out September 10th, and they had the release date in the Japanese indie world, and probably would have kept ahead with it, but their publisher decided to push it back. It creates a shockwave. Antonio, how's your drawing coming along? Hopefully better than my haircut progress. Maybe tomorrow. Oh no, it's lagging. There we go. Caught up. I think this will be really small, so it doesn't have to be too detailed. Yeah, and I'll just have to add a couple cars down here, and it should be fine. Maybe the claw can be down there. I'll say, with the long haul, it's going to be to hopefully get some people like playing it on a stream at some point. I don't know if they have, because I'm not sure if my Google alerts are working yet. But maybe on September 1st, somebody will do it in part of a giant long stream. So that'd be nice, just for like 15 minutes. And yeah, I have to balance things now because I'm also helping a friend with a simple puzzle game, kind of due at the end of September. And that's also in GameMaker, and while working on this. So that's kind of like a something to do in the evenings. So that'll make it harder to get to some of the projects I wanted to do, like doing some videos in Carpoon. Oh, yeah, I think like I would say, like, I know your situation, so it's understandable, and it's also summer. So I hope yeah, you can get back to your goal. It's like me trying to get back to my goals. Yeah, now that Carpoon's out, I try to put a bit more time into learning again too. So I just have to try to keep up my energy and keep focused. Oh, this should be an X. That was a mistake. He's dead. There we go. Okay. All right, and we'll leave this space in case someone else suggests anything. Oh yeah, everyone needs a break. Like, I'll say when I was making Carpoon, sometimes it felt like I had to be working on it all the time, when in reality it would have been better for me to actually take a break in the evenings or go to sleep earlier. You know, kind of have more energy throughout the next day. So it's important to like enjoy a game. Fortunately, there's, other than Metroid Prime 4, there's not too much on the horizon that would compete with Donkey Kong Bonanza for AAA games when I come to play it. The last boss was spoiled for me, though. I think I kind of already knew what it was. I haven't seen it, but I know who it is now. It had the page turner effect to me. Resident Evil 4, I'd say, was the best game as a page turner because it would kind of end the action in the middle of a chapter, and always like in the middle of the chapter, action would end. At the end of the chapter, pretty much always it'd be like some sort of cliffhanger, or if there was a boss, it'd be like foreshadowing the next area, and you just really want to see what it was. So how did Bonanza have the page turner effect? Did it always kind of like hint at the next area? no harpoon can actually like go down on the top of a car, but I'll add it here. Okay, so I haven't actually seen it yet. I've been lucky in that regard. Yeah, YouTube thumbnail can easily do that. And yeah, it's the gameplay experience itself that makes it special, not knowing what it is. Very tempted to draw a tire bonfire, but I've not. Okay, you go through a layer to another one and just explore it right away. That sounds about right. That's how I'd be feeling. It's like get into a new level in a Mario game. Gonna have to get a bit more coffee. At least I have air conditioning on right now, so I'm not gonna fall asleep from it being too hot. I'm serious. I've had some afternoons where I have to do the 20-minute power nap because I can just close my eyes and fall asleep sometimes. I wish I could do that in the evening all the time. And last weekend, Mervyn came by to the Carpoon play session. We figured out his internet after. He has better internet now for next time. Congratulations, Oscar. And how do you like it? I would say on that one, you don't have to say finally because it just came out. But no, congratulations. That's quick. It was awesome. Okay, so more hype for it. That I'll definitely have to be playing through that one once I get my Switch 2. Yeah, I think more of it is like the technical upgrade on Switch 2 to encourage people who might have missed it to buy it again. And as Yerk was saying, it was a lot better at 60 frames a second and high resolution. But I'd much rather have like a short new part than no new part. Like I don't think there's a chance I wouldn't go to it at all without that. So maybe they're trying to figure out the exact amount they have to offer for everyone to like play it again and maybe pay a little bit for it. Like that, was that a free upgrade or did it cost like $10 or $20? I assumed it was a small fee. Okay, but let's make this a little bit more transparent and draw over it. 35 Canadian, but 20, so $20 US. Hmm. 35 Canadian pushes the bounds of what I'd want to pay for it. It's easier in the States. Yeah. But I guess if you're paying like over $100 for a new game, it's like a walk in the park. Carpoon less than $10, by the way. Carpoon, no. I'm tempted to draw a new layer, but no, I'll stick to the current layer and I'll ruin everything else if I have to. So I had this pressure opacity on. I'll turn that off now for ink. It's a bit of an eyesore to see Air Riders at $99 Canadian before tax. Yeah. I mean, if City Trials is amazing, though, I'll get it for the multiplayer. But but it's just the current reality. It's just it's the early 90s all over again. And late 90s. Might have to pop out chat. Get rid of the preview. My computer's deciding to do something. And I'll close Discord. Discord's usually... I like seeing it, but Discord can take a lot of resources. Goodbye, Discord. Like, the price of games is honestly why I didn't get as many games before, because like I can enjoy an indie game just as much. But yeah, if you're like a kid buying games, that's tough. Although I guess I managed to buy N64 games just fine with my paper route. I wonder what type of jobs kids do now, if any. Because there's not as many newspapers. I guess they could always do dog walking or things like that. Well, fast food, but like, I mean, even before 16 years old, like, I had a paper route just delivering the local paper. And I'd sometimes mow people's lawns and stuff. it's crazy now. It's like I didn't get PlayStation 5, and it's gone up in price, and I'm gonna reach a point where it'll be not too long before there's PlayStation 6. Just most games on it that I was interested in also came out on PC. Like there are a few Sony ones that would have been good, but they were coming out on PlayStation 4 still, so I just lived with that. Oh yeah, I think a lot of people like Sonic Racing and Pac-Man World 2 repack in September. I'm sure there's got to be one Nintendo game at least that we don't know about yet. Has to be. I'd be fine though if that was the way it is. There's a million other games that I can enjoy in the meantime and catch up on. October, and I say October, but it's really November, will be a big month with you got Mina the Hollower then. That'll be one to play through. Oh, you'd be curious. Nintendo releases Nintendo Switch numbered iterations in a shorter span, like iPhones. I think that's gonna depend on how sales are and like how their market is for getting supplies. They like they hold off in colors and stuff when it slows down because maybe just people buy it for the colors. Um, yeah, I'll say they don't. It's all going to depend on the momentum of the console, and when they feel like it's slowing down a bit, or let's say PlayStation 6 has that rumored handheld version and its screen's amazing, like maybe you do the OLED then if you can compete with the price. I would assume making new models makes it do better, but I don't. As long as it scales, like, and I don't think they'd want to do different technical specs if they don't have to, unless developers are really struggling for some reason. Oh yeah, September 25th, 28th is the Tokyo Game Show. So Sega's there, Capcom's there, but Nintendo's not there. And I might go for one day. I'll see. It's a very, very busy event in the public days. I didn't get to go to Gamescom, but I assume it's as busy as Gamecom, probably because it has like a similar number of people, but less games. And what's funny is they'll just cap a line if it gets too busy. Like you can't even wait for it. It does have a neat indie area. I'll say that. Tokyo Game Show is a pretty good indie area. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Koei Tecmo bringing Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. Well, that'll be good for Warriors fans. I'll admit, I kind of rather play like an older Zelda again, or one maybe I missed part of and try to finish it. But you're right. That's one that, depending on how it's going, there'll be some interest there. I don't know how much. I wonder how much of a presence Switch 2 will have on the Tokyo Game Show floor. Like, I don't even know what it was like at Gamescom. Because obviously at Gamescom you have Kirby Air Riders and stuff. That's Nintendo's booth. And hearing some of the recent indie developers hint at it being very hard to get a kit. A Switch 2 dev kit. Yeah, you're right. No, so that one isn't likely to just come out in September if it's been at Tokyo Game Show. So that's another sign that's pointing to Metroid Prime 4 in September, which I can enjoy on Switch 1 at least. I mean, the Metroid Prime remaster looked great, so I can probably live with how it looks. I'd say drawing is one skill I'd like to improve at getting faster. Some people, they're like a machine at drawing. Yeah, that rumor I was started by a YouTube channel called Switch Force, and then VGC said their sources also said there'd be that, and they hinted at like a Friday. Let me see was it like Friday the 12th? So that's kind of odd for Direct. It has happened in the past, but I believe that date coincided with the anniversary, so that made it seem more like it could be a Mario anniversary event. They've already been doing a lot of Mario stuff though, so I almost feel like they've been doing stuff like the My Mario and kind of that app which is on Switch to like play with Mario's face. So they've already been warming up to Mario type stuff. It'd be funny if they had a plan for that and Nintendo also moved for Silk Song. I think that'd be over a week would be enough time. can feel this pen nib wearing out. I had tried to buy a new pack at one point, but it was a different size, even though it was supposed to be the right model. So I'm hesitant to waste money trying to buy a pack again. Oscar, don't ruin those for me. I enjoyed the the stop motion Mario videos. Yeah, they were fun. So yeah, that was yet another thing they kind of did, which is almost like an anniversary type thing to do. Yeah, they were charming. Charming and adorable. That'd be funny if it was leading up to a Mario game in that style. Like bumbling stop motion Mario. Little challenges that you have to complete. I guess they figure all that stuff improves the brand of Mario, and like maybe for people who don't necessarily play the games right now, they can enjoy them too. Like who played the games in the past, or who can enjoy it like on their phone on the way to work. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, the Hello Mario app. But it's more like a game because it is on Switch. And yeah, you can try it out right now if you have a Japanese account or create one. So I guess by doing all that, you'd have to think it might be difficult to have a anniversary only direct. Unless it was shorter and had some new Mario game. Yeah, you're right. It's like a 2D Mario 64 Mario face. I think it'll be great for thumbnails later. Especially when you use it on Switch 2 with a 4K resolution. Okay, we're getting those hockey sticks are great. They're filling in the details nicely. Hi everybody. Hi Brandon. Hi Brandon. I can only hear that in the Dr. Nick voice. But how's it going? We might do a group drawing this weekend. And we are planning to, if you're interested. Yes, that's who you're going for. This is my first time doing YouTube chat. I hope it goes well. No. I'm kind of mixing Dr. Nick and Mario, though. I'm kind of ruining it. All this Mario talk. Yeah, I think we're going to do Gartic Phone or something similar. It's going to be a Saturday or Sunday evening. Oh, how's your time in summer been going? Because I know you're working on some projects. Have you had time to continue them? Yeah, Gartic Phone is always pretty hilarious, especially that one where everyone draws a part of the creature. And I say creature, but it should be a character. But let's not kid ourselves. It ends up being a creature. And I'd say for it ends up being Wario. Yeah, a creature or Wario. One or the other. Or a Wario creature. Like, the odds are always very high. Should be like drawing a mustache. Yeah, we're currently, but just relaxing. You picked up UFO 50 and been having fun. Excellent. Yeah, I'm still playing UFO 50. Glad you're enjoying it. Okay, so Party House doesn't look good. But if you have a friend over sometime, I recommend playing around a Party House. Maybe at the end. And Party House can take like 45 minutes to get through. Like on paper, it should not be an entertaining game, but it is in practice. Back in coffee. Yeah, if you have UFO 50, you don't have to buy another game ever again. Nintendo was wrong to let that be on their console. So last night, I was mentioning I beat Seaside Drive, one of the last games in UFO 50. That one was made by the creator of Downwell. Oh, Pilot Quest, is that the one that it's like an idle game and you have to go back to it? Magic Garden was pretty good too at first. Just like classic style, kind of arcade game, very simple. Yeah, resource farming. So we have to play it a bit and then leave so the resources build up. Like play other games and they'll keep going. And then you go into Zelda. Yeah, that one was kind of neat. I wish I knew about it earlier so I could have been farming resources while playing other games. Oh my, oh my god. I'm so tired. That's so funny. Now out with even wider appeal. Yeah. Could you? Oh, I gotta copy that to remember it. And same. You're almost done beating it. Just need to get the final item. Yeah, I think in that one you kind of play like. Okay, I don't want to say the last boss is because I was listening to a podcast that said it, but I believe it's kind of a neat last boss. Okay, where's Notepad? Nah, I did that thing. I think that plushie didn't make it by Beaker. Or maybe, I don't know, it's about 2/3 funded. I'm using Notepad because it takes up less memory than Google Docs. Brandon, have you had any more time to work on your game idea or drawings recently? Being understanding, of course, if you have work and life, so. Also, the Waluigi or Wario mustache that you now have to maintain every day too. I saw one of my friends has like a super neat mustache, and it's like, oh man, he must just have that magically. But then I see him like he was like having to be meticulous, like fixing it up during the event off to the side. I'm like, oh no, that's just a lot of work. I saw Kyle Bossman is doing another game jam right now, but I don't think I can also do that. And Carpoon and maybe one more game. I'd like to do more game jams, but maybe some just slow prototype, like 1 week ones. Doing it in a weekend is a really neat experience, but also it's very tiring. They can be memorable though. So Brandon, I posted it, but I was on waiting for Nintendo, just talking about Carpoon. That's where the key art for this thumbnail is from. I drew it for that thumbnail. This is this that you want to look. That's not quite enough overlap, really. But I don't think anyone will truly notice. Yeah, thank you. I think that was an eyeball, but maybe I was drawing a tire. Zooming in and out the scale, I kind of lose track at times. Like on my second monitor, I have a preview of the whole thing. Maybe I can get a small preview so we see what's going on here. Oh yeah, it's kind of allowing it now. So we can kind of get an idea of what I'm drawing. And the giant Zamboni in the middle. Yeah, Mario anniversary prediction. Wario crashes the party and has his own game. They would never do that. Yeah, they would never do that though. Doing a Mario Land type one where Wario's the villain, maybe. Maybe. What is this? Did I draw another fridge? I might have. This could be a tank shell. AKA a bullet bill without eyes. Even though eyes would be fine in the Carpoon universe. I didn't want to have it too close because people might expect it to like fire a bullet. I guess it could do like a slow type bullet. But I want to avoid adding too many gun like things into Carpoon. Well, the signs point to it happening, Brandon, because of that September 12th date. With the direct rumor, a few people are saying sources point to it. And it just seems like they've already been doing a lot of stuff for it. But yeah, it'll be interesting if they do a new game or some sort of remaster. Everyone's saying like Mario Galaxy 2, but I'd almost be happier if it was some sort of remaster of Mario 64. Coming off Bonanza, it feels too soon to do a platformer. Like maybe they tease one. Maybe they tease one as the dangling carrot to buy a Switch 2. Like everyone knows you're gonna get a new Mario at some point. It's not the Switch U. But that team did Bonanza, so it'd be a different team. So maybe you get something like by the guys who did Mario Wonder. I would love Mario Maker 3, especially with 3D. There is, of course, that Mario 64 Maker made by fans, but an official one and support levels again. I'm always down for that. Now with the mouse too, it makes sense why they would do it. Just pushing the Joy-Con mouse. You already got your monkey paw wish with Mario Sunshine. You'd love to see a new game. Mario Sunshine 2. Peach's Vacation. It's just a Peach game. It's like one that Showtime should have been. Flood. Yeah, Flood mouse controls. It's just Splatoon, but Mario. Yeah, everyone's a pinata. Well, you know they'd want to create some sort of new mechanic for the next Mario, but like I would be fine if it was just a really good 3D Mario platformer. Side game Captain Toad's totally radical summer trip. I would love a summer Captain Toad game. Captain Toad could be one they bring back. But you think they'd have some sort of different... I think it'd have to be like some sort of service game. I would think there'd have to be some sort of hook to it. Or like new levels every week. Something like that. Super Carpoon Bros. It's like the original Mario game, Mario against Luigi in that single screen. I still do think about making that Carpoon Junior for Playdate. I do think more of my time's better spent doing updates on Steam right now, but it'd be fun to do. I do have a saying I had one more game to work on, just a small puzzle game with a friend. So that's kind of going to eat up the time for a second project right now. But it should be done end of September, so then I can maybe explore doing another game. I think that I'm only one person, so maybe I'll be doing prototypes and updating Carpoon. Oh, my phone's about to die. I'm going to plug it in. Yeah, phone's about to die. I do CPR on my phone. Yeah, Carpoon Jr. I kind of think of a game like Spy Hunter. And maybe you're reeling in the cars and dodging some of them. Or like you harpoon a car and you can like fling it around and smash other cars. So just on like a scrolling highway. Yeah, like it, but unfortunately, like endless scrollers are kind of normal. Another option because of Playdate with the crank is if I could nail the handling for fishing, that's something I can never quite due for reeling in Carpoon. Brandon, do you have any requests for some sort of object to put in this top corner of the dump? We had hockey sticks earlier. So we just a little another couple items. I think this side's basically maybe one more item would be good, but it is pretty fairly has enough stuff, I think. So Carpoon Junior would be tough in that I guess people can play it, Playdate games with an emulator, but not that many people have Playdate. Did all of you see that bus game from the Gamescom where it basically looks like Tony Hawk meets Jet Set Radio? That game looked pretty cool. Looked like a very high energy game. Probably short though. Looked like very tailored levels. That's right. Capture Red Truck Mel and now Junior as a platform. Collect keys to save them. In the original Donkey Kong Jr., there were no keys. You saw that. It looks hilarious. Yeah, the bus game looks hilarious. But collecting keys would be a very unique... it'd be unique to Carpoon. They could be car keys. Okay, I have no ideas, so I'll draw a key because we talked about keys. It's like the Banjo Kazooie secret key to unlock stuff in Carpoon 2, but you can never get it. You can never use this key, I'm sorry. It'll just be part of the game's lore. Maybe there's like an eyeball on it for no reason. I never played the Game & Watch version of DK Jr. I played... my dentist had the Game & Watch. I think they had one of the oil barrel ones, and they did have Donkey Kong Game & Watch. Unfortunately, I guess they finally took those away. They would have actually been worth a lot to buy. I think getting an actual Game & Watch is quite a collector's item now. Like, they had them until at least 2010. Maybe longer. Game & Watches to play while people were bored. And I did, because it was neat. Even though they're for kids. Yeah, I think essentially from when Dr. Sue, like the doctor was like over 80 and he retired and his son took over. They were there. And he'd be like, take one of the little toys. It doesn't matter. fallen ice cream cone. And, that would be so gross. Maybe the ice cream truck? Like a hint at the future object? Because I always thought it'd be fun to have an ice cream truck, and then let's say it explodes and creates this frozen shockwave, which is essentially the liquid nitrogen truck from Terminator 2. I have to be honest. It'd be that. Choco wave. You're making me sad. I want to play Choco Mountain right now. Is Choco Mountain in Mario Kart World? Is there like a Choco Mountain area? Despite being kind of dull in Mario Kart 64, is one of my favorite tracks. Something about the music and layout and the fog. Okay, this is slightly too big for an ice cream truck. Ice cream truck has to be smaller. Maybe facing. I'll start drafting it. I'll start drafting it in a color I can see. Excellent. As there should be. It's gotta be a variety of ice cream trucks. Some of them probably have that little van in the front. Some of them might be like a brick shape. I'm gonna search ice cream truck. Normally they're the huge boxy one. Yeah, I'm getting the something like this, basically. This would be a smaller one. Yeah, this one's retrofit. That's kind of a neat one. Oh yeah, this truck. Definitely the boxy ones. The boxy ones are the ones I remember. Perfectly nice couch. Yeah, it's always like that couch you see on the curb, and it's like, why would they throw it away? Like if it rains, it won't be good anymore. Yeah, we'll add a. Now, is the couch? Can the couch be tilted, or does it have to be like perfectly level on the map? And does the couch have eyeballs? Can eyeballs be sitting on the couch? Yeah, maybe we put the couch here. Couch co-op, yeah. That's hard to market because it is co-op, but it is versus too. So, like, I guess most couch co-op games have some competitiveness to them, but like it's not truly co-op games. That was something I kind of wrestled with in the tagline. seeing the time, the late start, I might only finish this drawing today and no games. But if I'm lucky, I'll have one more game, or just have to do it early next week. Okay, let's draw this. Let's draw this couch and this ice cream truck. Co-op doesn't always mean there's cooperation between those playing together. Yes. We'll add a sparkle on the couch. That way, people know it's a new couch. I think you get to the point though, it's like some people can't be bothered. Like, it's not that they can't be bothered. They don't know anyone that needs a couch. They don't know anyone that wants to sell it. Or some people just like are too lazy to take it to a dump, and like they just put it on the curb. I'll leave it up to the artist for interpretation. A little sign on it, free. It's like, could it be? And you see that piece of paper, free. It's like, yes, it is free. This is like a massive couch. This is one where I can actually like lie down on it and have enough room for my legs. We'll have like, it's on like a little tarp, so you know it's still clean. Like you can, aside from worrying about maybe rodents going in it, you can know safely it's perfectly good. Perfectly good couch. Should be fun doing the Carpoon boss update after this. 'Cause one of them is already drawn. I think one of them can kind of build on that. It'd just be drawing more frames for the semi-truck from Volcarnage Island. That's too much detail, but the idea is there. Okay, that ice cream truck, and I think that's enough. Random scrap. Okay, so it's just a box. And we need, this is like the easiest kind of shape possible to draw. It's just kind of nailing the angle. That's probably a little too forward. That's actually a good point, though. It is boxy. It might be really easy to try as a one to mock up in 3D and to sketch over it. So there's some potential there with the ice cream truck. I think this should be more down. That's the tricky part. Being like drawing through and behind it. Like the cone is actually very small there. remember adding veins in the car eyes at one point, but it looked a little too gross. Too realistic, perhaps. Nice thing about drawing on a standing desk is being able to change the height at any time. Easily. There is the bottom edge. I'll have to... I might have to just taper off. That part's okay. This part I'll have to just change the color a bit. But I have to put that on the bottom edge piece that overlaps. Otherwise, I'm sure it'll move and not line up exactly. Oh, and these clouds here I have to finish. I think most of the shading's done here, so let's fill in some of the colors. Oh, didn't draw the couch, the official couch ink or ice cream truck. I got ahead of myself. Oh, this should point up a bit more. And of course the canvas flip to see everything. If it looks decent or not. Maybe it doesn't. Yeah, it's the ice cream truck is kind of like this left side is a bit shorter than the right side, so that's one thing that's easier to notice when it flips. And yeah, this couch arm was a bit small. Gotta almost have it flat while giving the hint of an angled hood. Just because the ice cream truck is looking up. Then just paint these little clouds in the background and we have forest. A little bit wider. I'm going to cheat and use the lasso tool. Oh, I don't even know what all that is. Oh, I'm sad that sparkle is coming along well. Maybe I can save it. Good enough. Okay, that line has to go. You can't have the couch butting up in that. There we go, couch. If you are drawing a couch and you like the old ones that had those like buttons, this is a detail no one will ever see. Let's see if we can draw free backwards. Not good. Not. No. Maybe. There. No, this is a perfectly good couch, Antonio. There'll be no springs. No springs. Even though a spring would make perfect sense, this is a perfectly good couch. The next couch can be beaten down of it, or the couch can be in a level later on, and if it gets harpooned, it gets a spring in it. That'd be pretty funny, actually, if there was a couch on a curb and it had googly eyes. But then there's one couch, and it turns out to be a hide-a-bed, and it's like the heaviest thing ever. It's the heaviest object in Carpoon. Indestructible. I think one thing, like I did want to make a totally new area, but I could try to remix Park and Panic. Just has some different shapes. But then I also have to, unless I do like an endless mode, I'd have to manually plan out the waves mode. And I did not create a level editor for that. It's all just seeing the exact spot and writing it in a text file. Yes, circles, probably the nemesis of many artists. The ice cream cone might have to be bigger. Doesn't quite look as much like an ice cream cone as I wanted, but it's better off being huge to see the waffle cone end. Yeah, that's okay. Show it melting. Yeah, that'd be funny. It's like a post-apocalypse. It's like, no, it has to be totally realistic in this game with cars and googly eyes. Yeah. Gotta love how it looks like blood currently with the draft layer. Doing this kind of looks like pockmarked skin, but maybe I can use shading for that. Yeah, that seems good. We'll add this because of the perfectly good couch. We have to counteract it with something not being perfectly good. It's perfectly good. Watch it be like the evil villain behind all of Carpoon. It's like the antagonist is the perfectly good couch. Yeah, that's a great idea. This here I should pull out a little bit. Doesn't look quite 3D enough. Let me there. Oh yeah, this is a little. I guess it's melting, so it doesn't matter. But if it's gonna be shifting, the couch boss just rebounds the harpoons. That'd be a good. Yeah, you'd have to think about how to get it then. Maybe like maybe a hide a bed couch, and only when the bed came out could you harpoon that part. Hits players with the pillows, yeah, and then maybe you get a pillow and it's weak. Pog, yeah. Hello, HPR Shredder. Hey, how's it going? The hi Skina. It really, all those years of Carpoon were worth it to create the pog-faced Doshin the Giant. It was all building up to that moment. Oh, thank you for coming by. I'm just trying to do the ultra-wide version of the player select area. Yeah, he was he was shocked. The funny part is I could have pushed it further. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'll gladly pass that on, pass that over so you can have it for future ones. No, I probably should have spent more time preparing interview questions and stuff, or like answers or things I want to talk about compared to the thumbnail, but it was worth it and really fun to draw that thumbnail. I think we had There were another couple sales today too from it, so I'm sure that video is helping. So thank you very much. Yeah, this is the melting ice cream truck that Antonio thought of. Oh, thank you. I was surprised to see the 46-minute runtime. I was like, oh no, what have what have we done? Because the Game Explain try to keep interviews short sometimes. Maybe just the Game Explain audience like aren't game developers. I think anyone that listens to it, and also like if some of them have their own YouTube channels, maybe that will also be nice if it spreads out that way too. So it's all about the number of people that actually watch the videos. Oh yeah, I remember you showing Jason's comment about the thumbnail. Yeah, it is possible. Like I saw, you could play it with Steam Link on Mac, or like, so Jason would host on PC, and then this is like what Antonio and I have done. It's possible to play to it, although I don't know if my computer screwed up. I'm sure Antonio played with the controller once on Mac, but it was like, I think it was doing keyboard and mouse only last time, which isn't quite as good as controller for Carpoon, I'll admit. It's doable, it's not the same. It wasn't my main focus, but I added it in because there are a lot of Steam players without a keyboard or without a controller out there. Oh, your Surface. How old of a Surface is it? But also a Surface can more easily do Steam Remote Play with other people. So yeah, I will gladly. Well, Steam Deck is Linux. Oh, so I at times had developed Carpoon on Surface Pro 3. And I think AutoWorks got a bit slow for that. But if it's remote play, it doesn't matter because it's not running the game. So but you can also check like a Steam. I think Steam has a Linux version, especially considering there's Steam OS. That's a good question because I know it works on Steam Deck and Linux, but I wonder if Steam's on Linux. Does it still work? But if there's remote play there, it should be fine. Yeah, it's something I'll write a note and kind of look into. Yeah, I still have my Surface for drawing. It is more comfortable to draw than this, but it's harder because there's only one screen. But it's easier to do the pinch zoom and stuff. It's way better in that regard. No, but still developing this, and I'm helping one friend make like a simple puzzle game. But I still also have to work on goals like the thumbnail video and getting the Switch 2 and playing that. I should be doing some probably like general like a reflection video on Carpoon or some sort of development video, and maybe some sort of TikTok, even though TikToks are evil. I would not put any shorts on my own YouTube channel. I'm not sure if purple was the best choice for that ice cream, because now I can't use purple on the truck. So they're like, well, TikTok, I knew using it. It's how snappy it is, and just it's like addictive, but then it's like eating a bag of chips, and not like a ruffled chip, like a thin chip. And there's no content there. Yeah, let's try classic vanilla. I'll get rid of this white background, and the vanilla will show out. Then I can make the truck blue or purple. Let me save that color, even though it's saved in swatches. I'm gonna save it here. Oh, probably should have drawn that in first, but whatever. Oh, this blue is like the blue in the back. And I hope classic, yeah, let's see. There we go. This might be like a brighter blue. Brandon, am I still looking for a Switch 2? Well, like I technically probably own one, but it can't get to me right now. And I haven't actually gone to a store and looked for them. It's been still kind of busy. I don't actually get to stores that often. But yeah, at some point, I'll be looking for one. Like the thing with Carpoon is that like I should have a break. I did have a break. I beat Seaside Drive as we were talking about in UFO 50 yesterday. But I should also try to get the boss update done so I can relax a bit on that. And like if it's almost like I have to develop more Carpoon for big moments in Steam sales. And there's a Steam sale coming up also when my other game's done, but also no work. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, as the saying goes. That's right. That's exactly the one, Brandon. Yeah. Or you don't charge shots, but well, you power up shots by drifting. And it's only along one axis, so. Does not look like I'll get to playing games again today. I'll have to set that for another time for during this stream, but at least finishing this would be nice. It would be funny if we finally got like the Mac version of Carpoon, and then the next day like I put together a Switch version and it came out. do still think about that, but might need a publisher. Okay, below here we'll just add we'll add a pink base to it. Switch 2 version with 4K and 120 frames per second gameplay. I found out that I was trying to get it to 100 hertz or 100 frames a second on my ultra wide monitor. And I found out because I started earlier before knowing delta time fully. I was running into a bug because my laptop was outputting at 30 frames a second to my TV, and so Carpoon was running slow, and I couldn't understand why. So it is tied into frame rate. Normally Carpoon, despite being able to do like hundreds of frames a second on PCs, it caps it at 60 frames a second. So I would have to slowly go in and like adjust numbers and times it by a delta multiplier. I worry about changing the game feel doing that, but it's quite possible I will have to do that at some point. So if you're ever running Carpoon, and it's like on a 4K TV and it seems really slow, you're probably doing 30 hertz. Skeena, I did, like after doing the 4K update, so everything looked okay, which was like if you go from your PC to a 4K TV, I went on some bike rides, so that was nice and like mentally relaxing. Like not a long bike ride because it's too hot unless I woke up really early, but just some of them, and that was refreshing, and playing a little bit of UFO 50. So that's been nice. Yeah, and drawing the waiting for Nintendo thumbnail with those two trucks that I can just use in memes now. That was relaxing too. So. Even recording that podcast was relaxing. Aside from the brief moment of stress where my camera wasn't working, so I thought about it because I was listening to an episode, and I think it was like one of the subscriber updates, and I think Jason said we haven't used that in a while, and so then it made me remember about it, and I said, wouldn't it be funny? Wouldn't it be funny if the trucks were done in that same pose? Because, like, in theory, it could be done. So yeah, I tried it. I didn't know what to do for a thumbnail right away. I was thinking of just using the key art or some of the previous characters, but then when I thought of that, I'm like, oh, I have to do it. And fortunately, I wasn't too busy at that time. Yeah, one guy noticed in the comments too, so that was nice. All right, we got to do this perfectly good couch. I think couches aren't brown anymore. I think they're like an actual color people might like. Oh man, I have to look up a couch color because I do not have a couch. Oh yeah, they're all this weird kind of like dark blue, olive. Not that color. That's not a real couch. That's like a fancy couch. Green. No, it's this blue. The Simpsons couch would not be in perfect condition. It was old at the beginning of The Simpsons. Simpsons is owned by Disney now. I don't think they'd be as kind. Yeah, that's the brown Typical couch. Wow, a couch. That's a good gag. I didn't see that one. A couch and a couch. Okay. This is oh yeah, you want it to be bright, but I don't want it to be too saturated to draw too much attention away. Oh. A charcoal black. Oh, that would make sense. I wonder if the black might be too light. It might look like gray. I can try it quickly. Oh, what have I done? Press the Windows key. Okay, so here's a couch. We'll just lock the layer in. I don't want it too dark. I'll try it. That's closer. Yeah, that's more gray. It's close though. It is kind of like a modern couch. Let's go a bit darker. I think we need some color between those two. Because too dark, it kind of looks soiled. I'm going to cheat. I'm just going to make it semi-transparent. Yeah, that's fine. There we go. Just thinking of the melted ice cream truck now. That was a mechanic in Carpoon that to add an ice cream truck. It could be you'd hit it, starts melting, and then you could slip on the melted ice cream on the ground. Aside from it like blowing up and freezing everybody. Oh, and we got a color in that tarp below. So you know it's a perfectly good couch. It's even over a tarp in the dump. We'll go with the orange tarp. It says orange, green, and blue tarps normally. There will be very few players that see this, but it's all part of the support process. I wonder how long it'll take to update the camera for them. For ultra wides, shouldn't be too bad. A Zamboni reference. I'm ashamed as a Canadian that I need a reference to a Zamboni. uh, It's hard. Like this blue is so saturated. Maybe keeping it light will be okay. This sometimes I can do in shading, but I'll just get it done now. Oh, right. That's something I forget about. Mostly, I don't want it to look too saturated, like too bright and vibrant in a garbage dump right now. No, that was always very helpful. Let's see how it's looking. So here's our handy tool just to do this. Whoop. The ice cream truck definitely stands out. That guy, that one's a little dark. The tank's okay. I think overall that Zamboni's pretty good. Okay, this is the crusher button. Normally I just use the fill tool on all of this, but then I have to turn off the shading. And I worry I might just lose where it is and not be able to turn it on again. Or kind of like hints at the detail in the area. Yeah, I'd say this drawing's pretty relaxing for a stream too, so it's a nice way to end the week. I always find one thing that's easy to do is kind of like try to do too much, but it is important to just leave some time for breaks. So maybe it's just filling it in with the mouse. Maybe I should shift over to that pen I have in my hand. Always nice hanging out with chatting. Yes, it is nice. Yeah, I think today too, while drawing, it's easier for me to focus on chat. It's not like programming and like having that half of the brain for programming and chat at the same time. So, oh, thank you, Oscar. Have a good night, and hope to hear what game you get through next. And enjoy the rest of your summer over there. Hopefully I can talk to you about some games I played next time. This is the car down here. Only the semi-truck in Volcarnage Island can open. It opens its eyes separately now, depending on how many gems fill on each side. So there is a car that does this in the game. Oh yeah, if you play Silk Song. That's a good question. Silk Song, do I try to play it right away? Maybe. Oh yeah, it's Sonic Racing Open Network Test, yes. Yeah, you can see how it compares to Mario Kart World. It'd be interesting. I think I'll still be getting through a few indie games that I have. I think it's kind of like I probably have a Steam. I probably have so many indie games in Steam that I could just like play them for years and not buy any new games, sadly. Like I think some people now like they have to not buy as much, and I wonder with games if that's what some people are doing, just continuing on with their library or playing like free games like Fortnite. Okay, here we got the the Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie like key that you'll never be able to use for Carpoon 2. Or will you? No. I know Deltarune is made in GameMaker, and it does let you. I think they had to do a lot of work with GameMaker, but it does let you bring over saves. That would be a hilarious feature to have. Did anyone here play Drag X Drive? And was it actually a decent game? Because I, without a Switch 2, have not played it. So is it a decent game for like a short span without tons of new content? You skipped it. Yeah, that's understandable. There was an ad on the other day with wheelchair basketball, and then it turned out to be a finance ad. I'm like, what is this? Yeah, missing the charm. Yeah, like they added cat ears, robot cat ears to them. And kind of like in motion, it's like a little bit of charm, or when you're asking for the ball, but it's just too robotic. And they're like, look at these environments, and it's sort of like the outside of the stadium. Yeah, missed the mark there. This is like, this stream is true game development, aiming to do many things and maybe finishing one thing. It's a true reflection of it. You'd rather revisit ARMS. That is entirely true. And ARMS is also good exercise. Interesting to see how it has held up. At this point, I might draw the eye color after all in one go. Sometimes that's more efficient. I had drawn shading over some of them to kind of like make them look dirty, but that I didn't find that was needed on the other side I finished. Okay, this I probably have to like a semi, I'll cheat with a semi-transparent white to make it look like a net. I was talking to someone the other day and they are saying it's really like with Metal Gear Solid 3's remake coming out, like actually getting through Metal Gear Solid 5. That was like one of his favorites in the series. So that's something I'll consider. Cause like, you know, Death Stranding 2 came out, I didn't play that. But it would be nice to say I got through the entire Metal Gear series. Aside from the zombie one. The zombie one doesn't count. That's post Hideo Kojima. This side is more filled than the other side now. What have I done? Yeah, Hayden said though that was only in like one mode though. So Elden Ring on Switch 2, not great, but there's still potential there. Like with VGC mention it, they say like Nintendo Life journalist, and then you read Nintendo Life, and they're saying it was Felix, and it's kind of like, oh, it feels like Ocarina of Time. It's like, well, I guess that's not good in today's standards, but I did love Ocarina of Time, and I lived with it. I think Dawn said though it was also not good. But then it was sounding like it was good in some areas, and it just might be an optimization thing. I don't know. We'll wait for the final release and see. And I will probably end up buying it. When is its release date? I didn't know it actually had a release date already. Oh, 2025. Okay, that's not like a set date. That feels like the type of game you could release in December and it would do fine. Not much competition in December. But knowing corporations, I would feel like they'd want to bring it out in September. And if there was that direct, you'd be announcing the release date during that time. But there's time and they have enough money from Elden Ring, they could delay it. Yes. Silk Song, yeah. Yeah, I guess maybe would Elden an Elden Ring port be scared of Silk Song? I don't think so, but you never know. Did Silk Song have a price? What are people going to complain about when it doesn't get announced to the direct? Okay, well, if there wasn't any Mario Anniversary stuff, no Mario Anniversary stuff or no Metroid Prime release date, people would complain. So those are things they have to consider. Doesn't really matter, but like people would complain. Or if they're like, hey, it's Mario's anniversary and they did something really lame, like, oh, like we did that my Mario stuff. If they only pointed what they've done so far, people would complain about that. Trick question, people. You nailed it, Antonio. It's like politics. You can't please everybody. That's like something I realized with Carpoon. Can't make the perfect game. It's always going to be something that's bad. Or something that, or like different, there's different player bases. And some, when I kind of realized that not everyone has played a twin stick game and it's harder to control. Oh wait, we got Mother 3 still. No, Brandon, that will never happen. And I played through, I bought one of those cartridges that had the translation on it, and I played it on my Game Boy Advance or DS Lite. So I've got to enjoy it. It doesn't matter what they do now. I beat it. So it's actually the only Earthbound I've ever beat. I can move on to the other ones. It's quite good. Although the timing's super hard. I don't know if it was still kind of being emulated or it's just has it been always that hard to time the music? Like I would assume playing it on actual hardware, it's not like the emulation issue. Need another green car down there. No. Oh, don't. Yeah, there we go. So I don't think they would announce Mother 3 the same year Deltarune came out. I think they'd saved that for some sort of wait. Especially with Deltarune doing really well. And I don't think Nintendo could win. Like, they probably have to leave in the characters at the end, and they'd probably swap out the Beatles music. I don't know. I think Konami's gotten around that by saying, like, at the time, the stuff in this game was okay, or it was okay to represent it in this way. I don't know if Nintendo would fall back on that way out. Okay, hockey sticks actually aren't brown anymore, but I'll do some that are brown. Well, yeah, Super Mario 40, that I was thinking about that. That would be an easy thing to do. Do Super Mario 128, and it's just like that Mario 128 demo, but now you're racing against other Marios in a Fall Guys like environment. That would be a true test of Nintendo's online capabilities. Like they did F-Zero 99. Clearly it's the next step, just racing against a whole bunch of other Marios. But then it would be like the 4-player Mario games. Okay, what if they remastered Earthbound and had the visual style of the remaster of Link's Awakening and Echoes of Wisdom? I'd be fine with that. Ideally, it would look like Claymation. That would be impressive. Like their old original marketing for it, that was in Claymation. I think people would just take anything. So after having like almost nothing, they'll just take anything for Earthbound and Mother. Yeah, all the Marios can just look like whatever Mario. Like it doesn't matter. They're so zoomed out. Okay, we can have one red hockey stick. Like red or blue are colors I've had in hockey sticks. Let's do blue. The old Joe Thornton blue hockey stick. He went to Florida a little too soon before they won Stanley Cups. I found out hockey tape, like normally you always put black tape on the bottom. Only when you're desperate do you put white tape there. Oh man, yeah, somebody could be rolling and then you roll them. Yeah, be like the Yoshi factor, but with Mario's. Yeah, I forgot they rolled Mario's around. I'm surprised. Well, I guess the tech demo was kind of like that welcome tour. But I'm surprised we didn't get more Switch 2 teases of games as tech demos. Maybe that's to come. Or maybe just Nintendo wants to keep us focused on the next title. But there's almost infinite things they could do, so should be. I'd be curious to see if they do choose to do something for it. Like normally Mario anniversaries they do, well, other games they not so often. I've noticed it gets to a point too where it's like with so many games that were out on that Thanksgiving period in November that they could be doing anniversaries. Like they'd just be only working on anniversary content if they were doing anniversaries for all their series. And then you get tied into a set date instead of having flexibility of when they'd like to move around titles. Okay, I think we just have to do the eyes, and that's pretty much it. I can add a little bit of shading. And I think it's getting close to time to eat, so maybe 5 more minutes. You would assume Shigeru Miyamoto will probably say something in the Direct too about Mario if they have a 40th anniversary event. Oh yeah, the sky. I gotta finish the sky off here. Oh, and these. That's hilarious. This other side was filled, and now it's looking sparse compared to the new update. No, they're never going to announce Charles San is returning to voice Mario. What a weird way to end that relationship. It does show sometimes it all comes down to money. But maybe they did want like a younger or different voice. Maybe they're feeling his energy. Is that been a problem, or is it getting a bit harder to work with? Okay, I'm going to flip this back to see what it should actually look like. You still thinking about that weird It's Mario Time voice take during the anniversary video? I don't remember that. But if you're still thinking about it, I guess it worked out. Oh man, nobody look at this corner. That's looking sparse now. I'll have to just add in some more junk. No, wait, the Carpoon logo floats there. It should be okay. I have to put on the producer hat. Remember, only a small subset of Carpoon players do see this. Yeah, I could copy and paste if I wanted to fill up stuff. I could use a stamp tool. I was trying to do everything unique. But in reality, I think I can just try it and see how it is. Like more important to start some of the other updates that people are wanting in the game. Could save it too for if there's one more cameo down the line. Okay, so this guy I have to create like a scatter brush. But fortunately I had one that I rebuilt for shading that should work here. What layer is this on? Okay, I think I'm too transparent right now. Has to be a little bit bigger. This would look better if I had it kind of animated in the background, or maybe the yellow and red isn't the best color. But I don't think many people would notice. Like probably only I noticed it, anybody. Oh yeah, that Bomb Caterpillar game, Ooh, by the creator of Leckhead came out in the same day as Carpoon. That's one that I could also play through. Got very, very highly reviewed. Not sure if it was made in GameMaker, but it sure looks like it. It's weird how this is showing up over the ground. Like that must have filled in the ground in a lower layer in this one small spot. It's kind of just cobbled together with the old part of Carpoon. It's always funny. It's like, oh, I'll just put a ship in the garbage dump. That makes sense. Thinking of whatever to put in it at the time. This is a little thick here compared to the other edges. Has to thin out a bit. It's weird how that is a lighter red than this too, but maybe I can fix that. There we go. It's trying to overlap a bit. Less of a hard line. Okay, this guy here, he's a little bright. I'll darken him a bit, and that should be good for today. I think this will be good to add into the game. Yeah, the harpoon color is not there. I'll grab this color from the Technodrome that I added to the garbage dump. Or a spherical vehicle with an eye on top that is not the Technodrome, I should say. Excuse me. Ugh. Yeah, thank you, Antonio. uh, Okay, well there we have it. I'll add that in, and I'll just work on this seam later. But no, thanks everyone for coming by and support with Carpoon. Hopefully maybe do just a playing game live stream next time, or have a bit more time and divide it in two, as Antonio suggested. We'll see. So have a great Friday and a great weekend. Goodbye, everybody. Yeah, thank you, Antonio. Yeah, that was fun and relaxing. Nice break. Good night, Brandon. And I will post the details for Gartic Phone on the weekend later once we lock down the time, but probably Saturday evening, I think. Goodbye.